final stump of the Hydras was cauterized, and you beat those mythical creatures once and for all. So I'm gonna reactivate the map here. And we really just kind of stopped in the middle of things. So essentially they just went down. I believe I have handed out XP to you, so you should all have what's the current total? 147 it looks like.
I entered this year.
All right.
Correct.
Okay. So there we are. You still find yourself in that surprisingly natural looking cavern with that moss growing everywhere on the loose gravel on the ground, and that large pool that stretches into the darkness of this spacious cavernous part of the vaults. What do you do next?
Well, we seem to be not too badly bruised. Surprisingly. I guess we can take a little walk further and see if there's anything else of note in the area.
Oh, yeah.
As you will.
Okay. Yeah, I believe I've already told you about that last time. There's where you're heading now. There's just this like narrow pathway that's left along the shoreline, which drops off steeply into that pool to the north. But it does circle around and then get a little wider again, which is what you're starting to see now. And you're coming up on the southern part of this cavern, which is entirely flooded. You see that walkway up ahead, which is encased in transparent stone. I believe you've been up there before, overlooking this whole area. The walkway is about 10 feet above the water surface, so there's plenty of room.
What is it that Ottardo is looking at here?
Those are, let me double check, but I believe those
I assume
are...
that's ladders that go up to the walkway.
Yeah, I think, well, not to the walkway.
Oh wait, no, because the walkway's down there. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think this is the place where garbage is dumped, right? From the... Oh.
Yeah, let me double check that, but I think you might be right. So we have these. Yes, so those are stairs or ladders. Give me a second. Yeah, so those are two ladders that are leading up to a little hatch in the ceiling. The ladders are probably still serviceable, but here and there a couple of rungs are missing.
Is there any way we can try to determine like where it might lead to? I mean, we've been to the level above this. Does it seem like it coincides with something?
Yes, you saw that. I mean, that must have been months ago at this point, so I'll give you that. There was a room. Remember the room with the mimics, where the weapon rack mimic and the door mimic?
Oh.
And there were
Okay.
these two
Yeah.
there were these two little hatches in on the eastern wall. That I believe I mean, they stood open, so you would have peeked down, but you didn't think those ladders were very inviting.
I see. Yes. I guess that makes sense. We encountered those mimics in that room like 2 days ago, and there were ladders there. Maybe
Right,
3
and
days.
I remember it like it was only yesterday.
Yes.
As you inspect those ladders and like try to remember, like, oh, yeah, right, that attached with that room upstairs. There's this weird feeling that falls over all of you. And then there's movement in the dark waters.
Of course
So,
there is.
of course there is. So let's see. I'm going to, well, where did Augrael end up? He should have been following Ottardo.
Here, I thought that there couldn't possibly be more any more room in this aquatic environment to house multiple large predators.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man. No, but
I
let's
mean,
see.
if they're being
So,
fed garbage, I suppose they're in a little aquarium here.
okay, all right, great. That came out nicely. Okay, so you see some movement down in the water, and as you lower your gaze, there's another feeling that comes over you, which is weird because it's almost as if there's a heavy weight being placed on your shoulders. So, um, that doesn't. Everyone but Ottardo, please roll that will save. That's a good start to the session.
Now, let me ask, is this a creature that I have previously demoralized within the last 24 hours?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Who's rolling for Augrael?
I can do that. Hang on here. I'm getting organized. So, Augrael, here we go. Augrael fails. And Lucca has failed as well. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, you feel this heavy weight being placed on your shoulders, and it actually has a physical effect on you. It makes you encumbered. Souma, you're okay. But the other two, all of a sudden, they kind of like seem to slump as if something, is pulling them down. And at the same time, there is this movement in the water, as I said, and it looks like there's a fish, a big fish swimming around, and then you for a moment, then you feel like, oh no, maybe it's another hydra because you see this like serpent-like tail, but then you even spot some wings. And finally, the whole creature splashes up from that deep, dark pool and reveals itself fully. And it looks like this.
Okay.
That's not good. That's. I don't know what that is.
It
Let
looks
me
like
check my aberration lore.
Yeah, so as it reveals itself, as I said, like it splashes up from the water and it roars, and then in a strange, very strange sounding language, that only Lucca understands, it calls out, sounding, even to those that don't understand the language, it feels like sounding like some frustration in its voice, and says, "So it finally came to this. You found me, but you shall go nowhere with this knowledge." And then it lashes out with its tentacle arms. And let's see where it starts. We're going to go with Soma first. That's, where are we? That's a hit for 21 points of damage. Not all of that is physical. 6 of those are actually spirit damage. As it lashes out, and then it moves over to Augrael with another tentacle arm, strikes him for 18 points of damage. And then it is Lucca's turn.
Okay. Does what he just said make any sense to me? Like, I can't, as Anthony, I can't think of why this creature would say that. But like, does this ring any bells?
No, you have zero context. It just you don't know what it's talking about. And also
Um.
the language. I mean, you would identify the language as diabolic.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting at all.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, Lucca is going to immediately respond in diabolic, and say, hold! There seems to be a misunderstanding. We have not been seeking you out. In fact, we don't even know who or what you are. But it seems you and I share a tongue. Perhaps we can talk this out. And
All
I don't
right.
know how many actions that is. I don't know if you want me to roll
Uh,
anything. That's just what Lucca's doing.
okay. Yeah, we'll see if we need a roll, but for now that's essentially delaying, I would say.
Sure.
So Augrael just kind of takes now that Lucca is starting or trying to establish some diplomacy here, he just steps away from the thing, taking a step action, and that takes him far enough away that you can kind of see how he actually this weight seems to be lifted off of his shoulders. And then he readies an action to what did he end up getting some ranged weapon? Yeah, I guess.
Give him
But
the longbow.
right, but he would have to. Yeah, I guess he's gonna draw that, so that he's ready depending on what's gonna happen here. He'll draw that short bow. Soma.
Well, let's see if the dialogue is possible. For the moment, the same thing that Augrael does. He will retreat. And Ottardo, the most reliable party member, of course. And well, let's try to. And cast shield on myself.
All right, Ottardo.
So did it look like Lucca was attempting diplomacy? Because
Yeah,
Ottardo
I mean,
doesn't speak that
I
language.
mean, I imagine he's like waving his arms at the thing, and you know, you hear him shouting back at it. So it didn't look like he was trying to cast a spell.
Okay, but it didn't look like he was trying to intimidate it either.
No.
Okay. Okay. So Ottardo will raise his shield. He will cast lay on hands on himself. You don't. Oh, I don't have. Okay, we must not have refocused. Yeah. What did he do? He will attempt to enter his stance. Because if Lucca's words are not enough, then we can smash it. Why is this not? Oh, sorry, I didn't. That should not have been that. It should have been this. Why isn't it applying it automatically?
I guess that was the problem last time too. It's just not doing that yet.
I think there's some issue. I don't know if you've upgraded recently, but I saw a bug about how these two effects were not coded
Okay.
properly. Anyway,
We're at the most recent version, so
okay. Well, anyway, so that'll be that's 2 actions so far, and for the last one, we'll take one. Will he step? Yeah, he'll take 1 step closer to the creature.
okay.
I guess
All right.
if I know we said Lucca was delaying. If I could take one action, at least before this thing jumps in, I should have recalled knowledge off the bat, but yeah, I'd like to do that if I can.
Okay, yeah, sure, go for it.
If you want to put me at the bottom of initiative after Ottardo, that's fine. Like I can do that. But
we can roll that into your last turn. That's fine.
Okay.
It's always weird. Talking during an encounter is always weird, initiative-wise.
Should I do religion check?
Oh,
Or
let me check here. Yes, that would be religion, or if you have any lore relating to those kinds of creatures.
Of course, I have devil's lore.
Go for it.
It's my religion is slightly better, but I think probably better to use the lore. Ugh. I'm gonna use my hero point right now.
All right.
Reroll that. That's a little better.
There you go. That's much better. And that is not a critical success, but close. So you recognize this creature. It is called a Sarglagon. Sarglagon.
Yes.
They dwell in hell's myriad waterways and lakes and oceans, and they serve as guardians of the Academy of Lies, which is the repository of secrets in Stygia, the 5th layer of hell. They can breathe water and air with equal ease. They can move through water, land, and even air with uncanny swiftness. There's a whole lot more to know about them. Of course, long history serving various devilish, fiendish entities. They're also known to sometimes be bound by mortal spellcasters as guardians of precious secrets or treasures, particularly in aquatic areas. And I guess that's what you need to know in terms of their background. I'll tell you that they are fiends, they are unholy, they are devils and amphibious. And they're known for their venom, which they deliver through their tentacles, actually, not through their fangs, but only through their tentacles. And you can ask me 2 questions about their stats.
I mean, I guess I'd ask what if they have any like supernatural abilities. I guess they would have been called in the past, but essentially, I mean, I'm assuming this encumbered effect is one of them.
Yes, so they are surrounded by this aura of just heavy weight. It's literally just called a heavy aura that holds everyone down around them. And they are also known to be able to conjure murky water directly in the lungs of a creature to make them drown even when they're on dry land.
Wow, that's classic. Okay. That's the classic. That's what PCs try to do to enemies with create water. Okay, and like, is there a save against the encumbered effect? Would I understand that? Can I shrug it off?
Yeah, there's a save. Oh, you mean after you already failed initially? Well, you have to get away from it.
Okay.
That's range based.
All right. Do I get another question?
Yes.
Okay. Can it be affected by mind affecting things? Mental?
Yes.
Okay. I assume that's it then.
Okay. All right. So then its turn comes up, and it you can see that it's surprised and confused, and it like gives you this shark's grin, almost literally, as it responds in diabolic, and it says, "Oh, so Jafaki apparently taught its pets the language of the true masters of the vaults, huh? Very interesting, but it shall not serve you. You will die in here. You'll never have a chance to tell them anything about us. And it's going to cast a spell. It targets Lucca, and you can see like as it casts the spell, waving its tentacles around, the water below starts swirling into this torrent, and then arcs up and shoots forward in a straight line. And that's a fortitude save for Lucca.
Okay.
Which you succeeded. There should have been a button for you, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
that's
I
fine.
missed that.
That's all right. It's still a success. Must basic fortitude save, so you only take the damage. You do not get. So you take half the damage, and you do not get
Oh.
blasted off your feet by the torrent.
I should have.
But
I should have cast my focus spell too. What was I thinking?
all right, so that was 2 actions.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Ottardo will use his reaction here.
Okay.
So that gives Lucca resistance 9 to this damage. And he will attempt to strike the creature
Okay.
and miss it.
All right. Double check here what the height is of this room. We know that it's at least 10 feet high up to get to the. Okay, it's 30 feet is the height of this place. Because with its third action, it starts flapping its wings and it takes off out of the water. That murky stuff dripping down off its body as it takes flight, and moves up. What's its fly speed? All right, 25 feet up. So it's kind of near the ceiling of the cave at this point. Lucca, your turn. And
Lucca is going.
Sorry, it's so high up that you're outside of its aura.
That's convenient. Lucca is going to rip off his mask as he casts Embrace the Pit and goes full devil mode.
Yeah.
And he's gonna shout out in Diabolic. He's gonna be like, "Look, you damned fool! Do you think that Jafaki taught me to do this? Not that it matters anyway. That worm is dead." But he's not going to brook any of this nonsense from this guy who won't even listen. So he's just gonna go right into casting some spells. He is a demon, but that does not protect him from this.
It's not a demon, is a devil.
I mean, devil. What I know is part of his devilish nature, if he's resistant to fire. No, I didn't ask that specifically, but
yeah, but I believe that comes with the type,
with
right?
territory. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Luke is a little peeved at this guy, so he's gonna break out a new spell. He is like yelling at him in Diabolic, which of course is probably nobody else knows what he's saying, but it probably sounds pretty strange and unpleasant. But even as he's saying that, you can hear like some faint noises that seem to issue from around him, as if they were whispers in many different tongues, and some of them you can almost understand, and some of them you can't understand at all. There's just the vaguest hints of very disturbing meanings and truths there, and yet you can't quite comprehend any of them. However, this guy will maybe, as Lucca focuses all of that into an area right around him. We'll put it right up in the air, right in the middle of him. He has to make a fortitude save.
Okay. That's safe. That's a
Nice.
failure.
So he's going to
Okay.
take 48 persistent void damage and be drained 1.
Okay. So do I
It's
pull that on? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
you can just
drained 1.
pull it on. And then, best of all, it does not have to be sustained. So I don't have to keep wasting
Nice.
actions keeping it active.
Wow. Okay.
Boom. It's essentially the enervation spell, but it's in a burst area instead of a line. But it's a new spell with the new edition, so.
Cool. Whispers of the Void. Awesome. All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, 1 action to cast and then 2 actions to cast this. So, yep.
All right. Augrael. I guess Augrael reads the room here and is going to target and fire off an arrow. Augrael doesn't have any arrows, so I guess I'm just gonna give him some. There we go. Shoot and misses. Shoots again. Misses again. Shoots a 3rd time. Misses again. Guess that's why he doesn't have any arrows. All right, Soma.
Okay. I have to step closer. Further. But then I also will bust out health, and Soma will. I don't remember what kind of instrument she has in her hand at the moment, but touch Ottardo with it. Well, it should be the summoned string guitar. Touch Ottardo in the back with her instrument and take a note on it, and this will cast a spell on him with the vibrations going through his body, slowly melting the weight away from him. Why?
What have you done to me?
Go get him! She will push him upwards a little bit so he will hang in the air.
All right, that's your turn.
Yes, 5-foot step and 2 actions.
Okay, Ottardo. Ottardo, you find your feet losing footing, hovering a little, just a few inches above the ground.
Oh, that is unexpected. By the way, I think you can all drag the effect from this onto your characters. It's a +2 damage whenever you're in Ottardo's aura. Oops, sorry. Okay, so well, he can fly now. Does it say what sort of
20 feet fly speed.
20? Okay.
Or,
And if I
or
remember,
your speed, whichever is greater.
yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Ottardo is not quick. If I remember correctly, flying straight upwards is difficult terrain.
I think with the fly speed, I should have checked the fly rules more closely.
I know
but
you have
I
to
believe...
spend at least 1 action flying
Yeah,
every round.
do not fall. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. So you move through the air up to your fly speed, moving upward, straight up, or diagonally. So any way of upward moving uses the rules for moving through difficult terrain. You can move straight down 10 feet for every 5 feet of movement you spend. So,
Nice. Yep.
got it. So it costs double to move up and half to move down.
Okay.
Oh, and if you're airborne at the end of your turn and didn't use a fly action this round, you fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to spend an action.
Is that a requirement even for flight?
There's only flying. There's no differentiation between magical. Unless
Yeah,
the spell would say differently.
there's another spell called Airwalk, which I was considering taking, but it lets you, technically you're not flying, it lets you move around in the air without having to take the action, but it is more limited in how quickly you can move.
Okay, well, in that case, Ottardo. Oh no, he can't do that. Hmm. Yeah, he wants to be protected. Well, he's going to use his defensive advance, so he's going to. Oh no, no, okay, okay. I'll just change the order a bit. He's going to spend one action to fly upwards, which will get
Mhm.
him 10 feet high. Where's the? Is it elevation? Okay, so he's now 10 feet high, and then he's going to use his defensive advance to raise his shield, continue flying upwards, and I believe the creature should now be within reach of him.
Yes, absolutely.
And as part of defensive advance, if a creature is within reach, he can attempt one strike, which he will do.
Oh, nice.
Nice!
Oh,
What an
roll that.
opening!
Yeah. 22 points of damage. All right. So
And
that's
it is frightened one.
so what I see is so Soma like casts a spell, touches Ottardo, and says, "Okay, you can fly now, Ottardo. Go get him." Ottardo like starts kind of hovering a little bit. It's like, what is going on here? Uh, quickly gains his bearing, looks up, and then just kind of wills himself up there, readying his shield and striking the creature with such impact that it's a critical hit. Hero point.
Right.
I mean, critical hit on your first time flying using
Mhm.
your new ability. That deserves to have some dramatic impact as well. All right, I believe you're so far up that nobody is affected by your aura anymore at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah.
Um, and
But the creature should be frightened one because of the being crit by someone who's in the aura.
wow, okay, here we go. Okay, so the creature is visibly off balance, like flapping its wings to stay afloat. It looks kind of awkward. And Lucca had also just yelled at it, if you recall, and it's confused and it says, "Dead? That worm? No, well, doesn't matter. I shall slay you all and tell Erevian that it was my feat to bring him down." What a devious plan. And then he awkwardly is gonna try to fight Ottardo. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay, so Ottardo, you actually entered its aura as well, so I'm gonna need you to make another will save. Nope, never mind. You already did that save. Is that right? No, you haven't made
No,
that save yet. Yeah, so you do have to roll it. Okay, succeed. So never mind. You are now immune for 10 minutes. But that was no action. So the actual action is going to be making you drown.
Wow.
So it just looks at you, flapping its wings, and makes this gurgling sound. And as it does so, you feel the fluids in your lung collecting and just like starting to gag and gasp. Give me a fortitude save. You fail.
I would like
So
to
you
cash in 1 hero point, please.
who gave you that thing? Okay, there you go.
No, no!
That's the one. So still a failure. You feel your lungs kind of like lose capacity, and you're losing your breath, so you have to hold your breath. So
Oh.
you're holding your breath. The only action you can take is to attempt a fortitude save against drown to expel the water, which is a single action. So that's something you can do next time. and we'll walk through how that plays out exactly next time. Okay, and then its third action it needs to spend on flying, as I just learned. So it's gonna fly away and fly over here. And then I think the automation takes care of yes. So we have some persistent damage as it's like shaking its head as if it's trying to shake water out of its ears. But clearly it's battling voices and whispers, and then it rolls its recovery check, critically fails, and continues to be in great danger here. Okay, Lucca.
Yeah, since this thing is flying away like a coward, I don't know if Lucca. I mean, he did make that knowledge check, so he probably understands what's happening to Ottardo. But he also thinks Ottardo can probably deal with it. He's like, spit it out! Since he didn't say anything to the others about what this creature is. He's like, oh, it can drown you by filling your lungs with water, by the way. Just spit it out, Ottardo! And then he is going to, it's no longer intimidated, right? So he wants to try to intimidate it as well. He's gonna switch to Diabolic again and call out to it and say, you hear those terrible whispers, yes? They whisper to you truths which you could never bear to face, you disgusting fiend of lies, deception. And he is gonna try to intimidate him.
All right, let's see that check. I think if you target it, it should do all the things. There's a demoralized macro that you can use.
Yes. Where do I find that? In the compendium or?
Do you have access to the quick search with control space?
Not anymore. We used to.
I think if you go to actions.
Oh, yeah, I've got it right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
okay,
it still
so
didn't actually roll anything.
No, you target the creature and click on the intimidation that's in inside the text. You have the
All right.
There you go. Okay, so it worked, and it's frightened, and yeah, you can see it up there, just like flailing around and very much frightened.
And I have to remember this because I don't think I've remembered this yet. I guess I did just get it last level. I don't know how often it was relevant, but I have terrifying resistance, so whenever I demoralize a creature for the next 24 hours, I have a +1 circumstance bonus to saving throws against that creature's spells.
Oh, look at you.
So
cool.
But that was just one action. I'm going to, I guess, advance toward it a bit. Since it's up so high, it won't be yeah, Lucca's gonna get like right under it. That was 2 actions. I don't think I have a third I can really take. I don't have any 1-action spells to throw at it. Maybe I'll do a well, we'll see how this goes. I just want a few hit points back, so I'm gonna cast a 1-action harm on myself. Four hit points.
All right. As you harm yourself, Augrael moves over and just kind of cheers on for Ottardo. Goes, yeah, you're so cool. And then targets the creature and fires 1 short bow, 2 short bow arrows. Oh, and 1 actually hits, thanks to the frightened condition. So thanks to the intimidate. But it doesn't seem to do any damage. So I guess you see the arrow strike the creature's skin, like clearly a nice hit, but then the arrowhead just sort of melts away into some weird kind of ooze. And Augrael says, "What was that? How am I supposed to fight this guy?" And then Soma's turn.
Okay, Soma
Isn't your
also,
weapon magic? Never mind.
Soma also will try to advance forward. Maybe a little bit ill-advised, but it's here. But I need to get in range. Once advances, we're almost right under this thing. Fell on it, and that would be this one. What do you think?
Nice.
Oh boy. Succeeds.
Oh,
Phew. But slowed one for 1 round.
You slowed one. Although, yeah, that was my turn, and I feel that I'm about to be mistreated right now. Maybe when this thing comes down. So.
All right, Ottardo.
Well, I believe the only thing Ottardo can do is what you said, something about
No, yes, yeah. So you can try to cough. So that's the only action you can do, which is taking this fortitude save.
okay.
You fail.
Can you
So
do it
nothing.
multiple times?
Yes, you can try it multiple times.
Okay.
So you just see Ottardo up there
no.
flailing his arms, choking.
Well, he doesn't want to fall off the air either, so he's going to fly just a little forward.
You can't do that. The only
Yeah,
action you can take.
Oh,
you can
right.
only make the
Oh,
save.
oh, damn. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
Okay. So you finally like cough up this murky, almost oily, dark water, but you fall. So you fall from 20 feet high. Let's see. Falling damage.
It's pretty nasty. I forget. It's like 1 every 2 feet or something like that.
Yeah, but there's something about also mitigating it. So falling, if you fall more than 5, when you land, you take bludgeoning damage equal to half the distance you fell. Blah, 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 blah. You could grab an edge, but I mean, here there's no
yeah.
edge. Or arrest a fall if you have a fly speed, which you still have. So you could do arrest a fall, which is a reaction. You attempt your choice of an acrobatics check or reflex save to slow your fall. The DC is typically 15. Might be higher due to air turbulence or other circumstances. So since you recovered on your way down, you could take this reaction now.
Okay. And Ottardo does have a reaction because this is his turn, so he recovered it. And you said reflex or
Acrobatics.
Well, it turns out they are the same.
There you go.
I'll attempt this.
You make it. So you very inelegantly, but you kind of like fall down, and then at the last moment you manage to right yourself in a way that you just do the superhero landing on one knee, like fist down. But that's your turn. And you have no reaction for this round. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we move on to the devil. All right, it is going to take a fly action to come down a little bit. So it'll come down up to 15 feet and lash out. No, actually down to 10 feet, I would say. And then there was one action, and then with its second action, which is the last remaining one, it'll lash out at Soma is closer. Yeah, let's go Soma. And it strikes with its tentacle, hits you for 26 points of damage. And I will need this fortitude save from you, as it leaves behind a sizzling venom that burns.
Oh no.
I think I'll hero point this one.
that might be a good idea.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
That's a very good idea. And yeah, you quickly shake it off, and it just kind of burns into the gravel on the ground. And that was its action 2, so now it has an action 3, which got
Nope.
eaten up by the slowed
Oh, yeah.
condition.
Yeah.
All right, so we move on, and that means that it takes
Yes.
the persistent damage. Let's see that recovery check. Success. Phew. All right, and it is no longer slowed. Or how long is the slowed condition? It was just 1 round because the spell. Yeah. All right.
Once.
So, yeah, that's Lucca's turn.
Well, that's not great. It is pretty badly hurting Souma. I'm mostly fire-based damage, so I could try to void warp it, I guess. That's 2 actions. I don't know if I want to burn another Whispers of the Void. Although I feel like it's not easy for the others to deal damage. Maybe I'll do it. Okay, I'll do another one. We'll try another Whispers of the Void as Lucca kind of once again tries to fill its ears with this, if it has ears, with this, these awful, deep truths of existence, secrets, considering this thing does not like, the truth. It's a creature of lies. He really wants to take it down. So that's a saving throw.
All right, let's see that. Fails.
Nice.
So refreshes the. It doesn't say anything about getting immune. No. Okay, and continues to be drained 1. I guess it just continues to be drained 1.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it would. If he critically failed, it would go to drain 2. But
yeah. Okay.
but the damage is gonna stick again. Hopefully, it'll
Mhm.
stay until it's dead this time. And then I've got 1 action left. I can't demoralize it. I can't heal anyone for. I mean, I could, but it would be a real waste of a healing slot. Man, I don't know what to do when I'm not maintaining concentration on a spell or sustaining a spell. I have all these actions. What do I do with them? Ottardo, go finish this thing. A diabolic edict, Ottardo.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Augrael
they
is.
changed the presentation of that a little bit.
Hmm.
Oh, it includes the my bloodline thing now. Interesting.
All right. Augrael puts the bow away since that doesn't seem to do much, and like looks around on his body and finds the little bag of sticky stuff, and decides that maybe that's the best way to help. So he tosses it towards the creature, but critically misses, and it just goes punk into the dark waters and is gone. Souma.
Actually, I think I will take Lucca's example and I will cast the same spell again. I'll try to solve him again.
It worked before.
Okay, but as you're within reach, it'll. No, it was so nice when I had attacks of opportunity. Those were the days. All right, 42 save.
Nice.
Fails. And slowed 1 again. Big deal.
For 1 minute now.
For a minute. Wow.
Correct, for 1 minute even. Last action?
Yes, and I run away.
Get away.
Critically,
That's a good idea. Ottardo.
All right.
did it
Well,
critically fail?
It didn't critically fail, just regular fail.
You If he
Oh, it
critically
is for
fails,
1
he will
minute.
be.
I'm sorry. Oh, if it fails, it's slowed for 1. I'm sorry. I thought that was the critical failure. Okay.
Yeah, he will
Sorry,
be slowed
there's
2 if he critically fails.
Oof. All right. Damn, he's done. He's toast.
well, Ottardo is taking a liking to this flying thing, so he's gonna
Mhm.
do the same thing. He's gonna go straight up for 10 feet, and then he's going to do his defensive advance. Look, he's messing with my brain.
Yes, Ottardo.
Search your
Uh,
feelings.
So he is going to fly towards the creature. He's going to raise his shield, fly towards the creature, and since he ends his movement with it in its reach, he is going to finish off with a strike.
Nice.
Oh, and it's a hit. 14. All right. He gets struck and takes 9 points of damage. 1, 2. Do you have another action?
The second one is a two actions to
Oh, that
strike, raise shield, and strike.
gotcha. All right. Okay. Its turn comes up. What's it gonna do? It's not really all those great options. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, you see it somewhat panicking as it like moves somewhat slower as if moving through oil, and it's clearly flailing and just trying to make something stick. So it lashes out at Ottardo, hitting 21 points of damage and this fortitude save.
Okay.
Which
Nice.
you succeed at. So it follows up with a second tentacle strike, which it misses you with, and then it spends a fly action to essentially hover. No, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I keep forgetting that it needs to move one die. So the second attack didn't happen. Sorry about that. It was a miss anyway, so no harm done. So it has to spend its second action on hovering. That is a big deal. Wow. That limits its options so much, especially for
Mhm.
flying. I like that. Magical flight still requires that additional action. Okay, so then we take some void damage here for it makes it through that even. Oh, and then it fails its save. Lucca.
Lucca knows it's just a matter of time now. So he is going to I'll just throw a little void warp on top. Maybe we can speed this up. Another fortitude save. This thing has failed every fortitude save so far, so he's crossing his bony fingers.
Oh, there it is already. I didn't see that
Yeah,
come up.
sorry.
Sorry. Here we go.
Damn.
Critically. Okay. Critically succeeds.
All right. Yeah, Lucca's not concerned. He just kind of confidently stands there, and is like, "This is what you get for trying to deceive your superiors, or your inferiors, or anyone." And he's got one last action, which he will take to just. Can he take cover? No, he's not going to take cover. He's not afraid of this thing. He's just going to gloat with his last action. I don't know.
Okay. And then Augrael just looks at the scene and just kind of like shrugs and goes, "I guess you got this." Souma.
No, someone doesn't gloat as correction. So we'll first we'll have start the inspire defense on everyone, and I can. No, treat wounds is. I've already used battle medicine, I believe, in last combat, so I can't battle medicine just yet. It was. So I will. Okay, I will continue casting spells. Use my from second rank spell slot.
Okay.
I'll get my.
And I believe that's your turn. Okay, Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo has the creature within reach. He will attempt to strike it.
Okay.
Miss. And then he's going to use his defensive advance again to raise his shield and hover in place and strike again the creature.
Ooh.
Okay.
And miss.
Miss again.
And that's his
And
turn.
that's your turn. Okay. So yeah, the creature clearly flailing, but not yet willing to give up, strikes out once again. And now not using its tentacles, it just kind of like jumps forward and tries to bite you, Ottardo. Hitting, and it gets 32 points of damage in, but
Ottardo will interpose his shield this time.
okay. Yeah, so there's, I don't know exactly how that works. Oh, you have resistance to physical on top of that. Okay. And I guess the spirit damage.
I think it went through because hardness is 10.
Hey, you absorb 10, but it's damaged for 20, and an additional 20 make it through. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm sure that automation got it right. All right, and then with its second action, it's gonna hover in place, and that's all it can do. So let's see if it survives one more round. 19 points of damage, and as it just kind of like it bites Ottardo brutally, rips out chunks of flesh from his shoulder, but then it just keeps on like and you see blood coming out of the little ear holes and out of its eyes, and it just lets out one final wail before just collapsing and crashing to the ground, dead and destroyed. I never know. Do fiends return to their home plane when they're dead? I think they do.
I think it Pathfinder's the other way around. If they destroy the outside of
Yeah.
hell, they live forever.
What was that? When
They're destroyed.
Yeah, it is the other way around from D&D and Pathfinders. If the devils are, it can be destroyed when in hell, but they can be killed forever if they are away from hell.
And here's the so you're saying that it is now destroyed. It's not returning to hell.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, so it crashes onto the gravel, clearly dead. That is 60 XP for each one of you.
Good work, Augrael.
Yeah.
At least I tried.
What was it saying, Lucca?
Oh, a lot of nonsense. You would think a creature bound by, law and such would be opposed to speaking lies and mistruths and whatnot. but something as foul as that sees no contradiction in the act. He shakes his head sadly. Just but it didn't say anything important. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke because that would have been a lie of my own. You see, no. The point is that it seemed to think that Jafaki had sent. We were some sort of pets of Jafaki's that had been sent to seek it out, destroy it, or that we would return with knowledge of where it was lairing. It would not relent even when it learned that we were no servants of Jafaki, but it seemed to imply that it would report on us or destroy us, and then report to what was the name? Simon, I didn't quite catch it when you said it before.
Yeah, Euravian. Euravian.
Yes, that Euravian. It seemed to think it would report on our activities and possibly our deaths to this Euravian person or thing. However, these things are rarely summoned into the what is this? What is this called? The mortal plane? The material plane?
The universe.
The universe, right? Of course. These things are rarely summoned into our universe without good reason. They're often poised as protectors of things, which makes me very curious what it was doing, just hanging out in this small pond.
Do you think there is something in there that it got it?
It's a possibility, or perhaps it was just hiding out from Jafaki, but one way or the other, I would be curious what is down there.
Well, only two
Last
of us
time
here.
it was hydras, but
Yeah, only two of us here don't need to breathe, so.
well, I did the last one, so Augrael can go.
Well, maybe we can take a rest before, because we are quite banged up.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yes,
fine, you're right.
I will try to treat wounds on everyone myself. I tried to. I already rolled for Ottardo. It was a fail, unfortunately.
Ah.
And
Here.
oh yeah.
Here's some bones. If you'd be so kind.
Then for. For Augrael. There we go.
Oh. Of course, Augrael gets the...
Well, he has more flesh to stitch.
Yes, yes. A fair point. That Hydra back there snapped my ulna.
I mean, we can take we can take her over if it fits. I mean,
No. Yes, fair point.
In fact, I think we probably should try to carve some stakes from them. I kind of hunger for vengeance. Those creatures.
Ottardo, do you require assistance, or are you just going to massage yourself until you're better?
I think I can do that.
It's always so weird, weirdo. After about a minute, probably just after Lucca finishes saying this, he reverts back to his normal self.
Weirdo. Horns get sucked back into his skull.
Oh, whoops, hang on. Put the mask back. There we go.
This is really fun with the tokens.
Well, how much time do we want to take?
Well, I see no reason to rush. We were only in a hurry before because we wanted to report Jafaki's death after discovering him, but
Well, if we sit down for an hour, Ottardo can get himself back to full and probably Souma too, and
sure,
even
that
fix up his shield.
will give me a chance to refocus.
All right, so you want to spend an hour here?
I guess, I mean, someone also can try to refocus. And and of course, like, try to treat wounds. We already, like, spent a bit of time treating wounds. I think all it takes, I think, it takes 3 actions.
10 minutes
or...
each, I think. Yeah. Barely. I'm gonna, like, Lucca will pull Augrael off to the side and we'll do a little, away from the mortal folk, the living folk, and he'll throw a little, light harm out there.
Light harm.
Just a little bit of light harm. Ooh.
Yeah, that's Ottardo's. Sorry.
Oh, that's Ottardo. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
that
light
seems...
harm.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, you called it.
It's okay. Says what is Augrael?
1 hit point. Oops, no, no, I need to heal, not take damage. There we go. Wow. Don't I have a wand of harm? Maybe I'll throw one of those out too. Inventory. Wand. I do have a wand of harm. There we go. Let's try this again, Augrael. I didn't even realize that activations tab existed until you pointed it out. So that makes it
Yeah,
much
I myself
better.
noticed it just before you pointed it out.
Wow, 3. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't badly hurt.
Is that for both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to take it off of my sheet.
Augrael is gonna say something to Lucca, like, "Wow, you're really powerful. You know that?" And it's like, not ironically or sarcastically. He seems to really mean it, but I must sting a little bit.
Well, that's it takes. Well, I was no, it doesn't take any study whatsoever, actually. But it takes. It just takes someone who's just plain old better than other people to be this powerful.
Yeah, I thought so. But Augrael slumps off.
Lucca pays no attention at all and looks towards the water. Now, what's down there?
Yeah, the water's clearly pretty deep, pretty dark. See how deep that is. Doesn't really say. Maybe it says here. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Yeah. So you can kind of like I said, it's pretty dark, but you can kind of see all on the northern edge. You can kind of see the bottom sloping down. So you're clearly at the deep end of this entire pool. So it must be more than 15, 20 feet. But how much more you can't tell without actually going down there or having some sort of light source.
Augrael, the time has come for you to prove your usefulness. Now that I've negged you, I'll get you to do what I want.
Huh? Augrael is of course excited to be able to
Here,
help.
take this ever-burning torch.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you have dark vision, I think. Do you?
He does have. Does he? Really should. Yes, he does. All right. So he goes in and watch disappears into the darkness. And for a little while, you can see him like swim down as he goes down lower and lower, and then the darkness swallows him. And it takes a few minutes for him down there, and you're starting to get a little uneasy. And it takes an even more few minutes.
Well, he hasn't lost his breath. Maybe. Not that Lucca's bony features would ever reveal it, but he starts to feel a little bad, and he's like, maybe I should just have a look down and see what's going on down there.
And just as you wonder if maybe you should jump in there yourself, you see the shape of Augrael appear again against the dark backdrop of the deep water, and he's pulling a bundle behind him and like flailing to get up to the surface, and then finally like splash, breaks through the water surface, crawls back onto the shore, and
I knew it. I knew there'd be something down there. I knew he'd be fine.
and excitedly tells you, there's not a whole lot down there, but I did find the hydra nest. It's at the very deepest end. Must be like at least 25 feet down there. There's all sorts of stuff and bones and equipment, but most of it is rotten or rusty. But this thing, and then he unfolds what he retrieved. This looks still gorgeous, and you see it's this still shiny scale mail with lion motifs on it and covered in various runes.
Ooh, that is shiny indeed.
Looks like some sort of rose
guard you made.
Rose guard, yeah, those idiots. Didn't one of them have lions or something?
Someone knows that.
Someone knows that indeed, and you would know that. Yes, I think there was somebody related to lions. But this was a fan of the Rose Guard who was wearing those motifs in their honor, but it's not an artifact of the actual Rose Guard.
Well,
so it's a cheap knockoff.
It's a good homage to Lucca. And if that thing light in the bottom of this place for so long and still in this shape, it cannot be cheap. So.
Still, we've found some fan's football jersey. That's what you're telling me.
Collectible football jersey, Lucca.
I believe you mean basilisk.
Yes. Or blood pig or whatever.
Yes.
Who knows what they put in these parts?
Oh man, blood pig. That's a deep cut. You know what? Hero point. I'm serious.
The only reason I remember that is because of the way that Ali is always like, blood pig! Blood pig! Yeah. Okay, I'll take a hero point. Yeah, it's scale mail. I mean, I assume we don't have to identify it, right?
No, it's a +1 resilient scale mail.
Okay. Well, is this useful for anyone? It's resilient, so that means... Does that mean has
It's
I
focused
more
on saves, I believe.
Yeah,
helps you on saves. Oh, that's pretty cool.
the other rune. Well, Ottardo can carry it, fold it up and carry it in his back. He has just enough bulk to move it around.
I think I also can carry it. Or oh, no, I can't. Put me in encumbered position.
That said, I don't think I don't know if I can actually move it because clicking it gives me a permissions message.
We don't have
Oh,
permission.
I can pull it on your sheet. Here you go.
Oh, but somehow it made me encumbered. I thought it was only.
The bulk.
Oh, it is. Oh, somehow it shows up as 3 bulk. Why? Or is there some rule about if you're not wearing the armor, it is bulkier or something like that?
It is 2 bulk, it says.
Yeah, but on the sheet it shows up as 3.
Yes, I have no
Yeah, weird.
explanation.
Uh,
Did the runes make it heavier?
this armor is bulkier due to not being equipped.
Oh,
Ah, okay, makes sense.
so you've got to wear it out of here.
Well, I'm already wearing one.
Throw it on over top. I don't know how armor
Layers.
works. Does anyone have 2 spare bulk? Augrael, here, you carry it.
Okay.
You look like you're always traveling basically naked. You surely can spare to carry this on your back.
I'll pull it over onto Augrael's sheet here. I mean, he is wearing a studded leather, but it's mostly a studded leather loincloth, I guess.
Oh, that's a mental image I didn't need today.
All right. He'll awkwardly stow that on his back.
Well, I do wonder who this Enuvrion, where did his name go?
Eurebian
Well, it was before all
or
this healing.
Eurebion. There you go. Whoops, nope, that's not right.
Urevian, there it is. I do wonder who this Urevian could be that a devil could be planning to report to it.
No. The name doesn't ring a bell, but I can make an educated assumption that the devil might report to another devil who is bigger and better.
A fair point. Does Lucca know? Does Urevian sound like a devil-ish name, a diabolic name? Is that a thing you can check?
I mean, with you have diabolic lore or devil
I
lore.
speak diabolic. I have devil lore.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you never quite know, because devil names are so varied and but it could be, yeah.
It's possible. It could also just be a pseudonym. Very rarely do devils give out their true names. I once met a devil that called himself Cheese.
Wow. Jeez.
Yes, well. Luca offers no further explanation and walks away.
I live a very interesting life.
Karnas, I don't know if you noticed, but you should have one lay on hands from Ottardo.
Thanks, I missed it. Which Which one is it?
Well, they're all the same. It's 24 hit points.
Hmm.
Somehow Augrael won't follow Soma.
Too heavy.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Is it maybe because you're dragging her? Curtis, can you move Soma using the arrow keys instead of dragging? But still not working. Weird. Must have stopped working. Okay.
Let's
All
see.
right, so you make your way back to the actual vaults. Where do you want to go?
Good question. I feel as if we've perhaps explored nearly everything on this level, unless I am missing something. There is, of course, the room with the thing.
Do you think we're good to try to face it? I mean, you did expend a few spells.
I still have one more of I can still call upon the foul truths of the void again, and this one is not so resistant to fire, of which I have an abundance. So, if you are feeling up for it, I believe I can handle it. Possibly, we can always run away again.
We can do that. Retreat tactically.
Plus, we
But
know what we're dealing with this time, so
that's fair.
we won't all go trying to use manipulate actions while we're standing near it, will we now?
Well, if you want, we can go and try.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I think if everyone is encumbered, we can try one of the other Soma's new spells and just put everything that encumbers us into the floating disc.
Oh, that's handy. We really ought to just right. I'm gonna invest in those scrolls of sorry, those sleeves of storing as well. That will help significantly with my issues. I'm not currently encumbered, so I'm okay. But I appreciate the offer, Souma.
Oh, looks like the jellies are still there.
Yeah, the jellies are still oozing around
Oh, the jellies! I forgot about
the
those.
room.
Yes, we just left those, didn't we?
Boom. Yep. You see that they have entirely dissolved the creatures you had offered.
Right.
Only anything that's not like organic matter might be left suspended in them.
Did we have any reason to take interest in that room beyond the jellies? It looked like
We did, once you distracted them, we did search the place and found some equipment. I don't remember
oh, okay,
exactly
okay.
what.
That's right. I remember now. Yes, it was like an alchemist's lab or something of the sort. Yes. Okay.
Well, let's
Well,
just leave them to their oozing.
yes, ooze and let ooze, as they say.
All right, if you're back in this corridor, you hear the carousing and the up-tempo music of Shadow Malice coming from the east. You must be near the tavern once again.
Well, you've made friends, as you said, with the people in there, right?
More or less. At least Lucca did, because I still have no idea what they were talking about.
I may have been the mouthpiece, but Souma is surely the one who won their hearts.
They had one.
If they still have it, exactly what I was thinking.
Maybe you could ask them about what is this thing, and if it's a denizen of the place like them. Or we can just go and bash
I
it.
suppose it's not a bad notion. Sure, why not? They won't turn on us or grow suspicious or anything.
Okay.
Hey,
So
gang!
exactly. You open the door, entering the tavern hall from that corridor, and it's kind of like almost like a record scratch sort of moment. Shadow Malice, like plung, 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 plung. The music stops. Everyone turns to see you. Look how you come in there, like, hey gang, I'm back. It's your the
I was
glorious.
expecting more like Norm entering on Cheers, where there'd be ethereal applause for me and whatnot.
And they all look at you as you're like waiting for the cheer to erupt.
Someone back me up!
And the bouncer looks at you first in surprise, and then its eyes kind of narrow, and it stares over at you and readies its glaive, and it says, "You've come through the sacred hallway. Only Jafaki chooses who comes through that and goes through that way, and you have clearly not been elevated by Jafaki's hands or appendages." What?
uh,
What? Go for it.
you said it yourself. Only those who are chosen by Jafaki come through here, so by your own logic.
You can give me a deception roll.
Yes. Wow, I almost never get to roll deception. It was one of my key things when I first built this character, but it almost never came up, so I'm only trained in it.
Okay. That is very good. So you see the bouncer kind of like relax a little bit and say, "Huh, I guess you're right." And Ottardo, you see the whole thing for the first time, I guess, and you see that there's all kinds of monstrous creatures here. There's a bunch of Morlocks sitting around the tables, gambling, drinking. You've seen the bouncer. That's just as much of an abominable creature like the one that you were fighting in the room with Jafaki. You see to the southeast on the stage, there's a band playing that is just a motley crew of a Zolgath and a Dwergar and I mean a Caligny. I don't know if you would know one of the dark folk, as they are also called, and a rat folk singer. So just a really weird scene. Um, but whatever Lucca just told the bouncer seems to put everyone a little bit at ease. And you see like shrugging here and there, and then one of the Morlocks at one of the tables yells out and says, "Oh, is Notardo gonna play another song for us?" And and you hear your name, Notardo, even though you don't really understand the words. Maybe it's the accent or whatever. It sounded more like Notardo.
I'm afraid. Well, we didn't bring our singing voices with us today. Sorry. Besides, we wouldn't want to upstage. Oh shit! What were they called again? He whispers to Souma. What's the band called?
Immortal Malice.
Oh yeah, Shadow Malice, right? Shadow. We wouldn't want to upstage Shadow Malice now. And even as he's saying this, he's like coming over here and he's like flicking a coin into the open guitar case in front of the stage, and like, yeah, he's gonna sidle along. He's just like making his way very casually around the bar, It's gonna slide up to
Yeah.
the bartender and like gesture for a few around.
Yeah, Ottardo, you see that how like familiar Lucca seems to be with the band, tossing a coin in their direction. Augrael's already at the bar, like drinking some bubbly liquid from what looks like a skull of some sort of creature. Um, and there's monsters everywhere, and everybody seems to be cool with it.
Well, the the Morlocks are sort of people.
Oh yes, sort of people. Very magnanimous of you, Ottardo. How open-minded.
Well, I mean, I
And
don't see any undead or devils or things of the sort.
Oh yes, yes. No devils or undead.
Yes.
Oh boy.
and one of the Morlocks near the bar kind of elbows Augrael and goes, "Hey, you have a new member in your gang, your band?" Um, which, yeah, Augrael speaks Sakharoth, so he says, uh, "Yeah, a funny story actually. It's kind of uh,
Lucca like nudges him in the exposed ribs.
it's like, oh, ow, what? Did something fall out?" He says to
Oh, no.
Lucca.
Yeah, he's just he's our roadie. You know, he carries all the heavy stuff.
Uh,
But
and
don't worry, he's cool. He's a bit of a square, but you know, he's a cool guy.
Okay, and everybody kind of gets comfortable again, and the bouncer looks over to the band on the stage and makes a gesture, and the Shadow Malice like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and jumps back into it. And now there's music playing, Ottardo, and everyone's having a great time apparently. Hey, you're deep below in the vaults, and what the hell is going on here?
Okay, there is music in the module. All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is actually
Yeah.
quite good. I'm surprised. But my music is better.
I mean, it's Shadow Malice. Yep, so much better. But Shadow Malice is not bad.
Yeah. This, I guess, Lucca's really the only person who can understand any of this, right?
No, Augrael also spelled Sakharoth.
Oh right. Well,
Speaks
Augrael can
Sakharoth.
speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I don't want to like take up a ton of time, but Lucca will try to casually ask about like the creature in the hall to the west. Like he'll kind of imply like is that you know like one of Jafaki's works of art? Is that his masterpiece? Like what's the deal with that kind of thing?
And I guess like all the Morlocks that you ask about that, they're just kind of gonna shrug and say, "I don't know. I mean, you're the chosen ones. You've been back there. I don't know. I haven't been back there at all."
None of you. He's gonna. I mean, maybe the band or the what do you call it? The spider person. The name of it is escaping me.
The Drider.
The Drider, yeah.
The Drider is not interested in making conversation if you try to like strike up a conversation with it or her, I think. She just kind of snarl and say, I don't care what Jafaki sees in you. Just don't make any trouble in here."
Okay. Gonna shrug. I mean, maybe the Morlock who serves drinks. I mean, there's something behind that door at least. Luca's gonna kind of ask like, "Hey, so what do you do once your shift is over? You know, like, yeah, so when do you get off?"
And the Morlock looks up, like spits on one of the skulls and wipes it clean. He goes, uh, I'm pretty much here all the time. I just go back there to sleep.
Oh, so it's just like some living quarters then, or something?
Yeah, it's the
Come on,
kitchen.
where's all the?
And
Dude, surely you know some cool places around here to hang out.
ah, or I don't know. I mean, the arena's pretty cool.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
the
watch
arena, the arena.
that giant monster.
Yeah, sure. Does it ever do anything besides just sit there?
Well, I've heard people talk about that that at some point Jafaki was unhappy with one of its creations, and threw it into the arena, and the thing just tore it to shreds. It was really fun, but so I hear. I wasn't around back then.
Oh man,
Anyway, can I
uh,
get you anything?
yeah. I'm sorry, I missed that. Yeah, let me have what he's having. He's referring to Augrael.
Sure, sure. And he pours you some foul-smelling, bubbly liquid. I guess you guys
Yeah.
don't eat, do you?
I mean, you know, it doesn't really. It's we consume, but it's a little bit different, you know. I don't. My buddy Augrael here has a thing for flesh. I'm rather a bit more of a bone fiend myself, you know. Good,
Oh,
nice. Yes, yes, but it's hard to get to. Well, actually, I've come across quite a few bones as of late. It's been
oh,
rather good.
we have plenty of bones and flesh. Well, I mean, there's most of it's still alive even. So if you just let me know, I'll get some for you.
Oh yes, what sort of flesh is on the menu, if I may ask?
Oh, we have one of them deep gnomes strung up there out there. So he's
Oh,
ripening. There's
hmm,
a
tempting.
there's a there's a young drow that's probably pretty tender.
Uh,
And a skulk. Skulk's getting kind of. I guess the Skulk's really got to go at this point. It's a little aged.
oh, I see. Well, you see, I tend to like mine very aged, because then all the meat just kind of comes right off the bone, and you can get right to the good stuff. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
oh, sure. Well, that's good to know. You know, I think I'm all good for now. I've replaced some bones recently, but if I'm feeling a bit peckish later, I'll let you know.
And you see Augrael like, if I could have some drow. I
Ah, he's gonna elbow him in the ribs again.
what is it still what?
Right. Maybe we'll have more luck talking to the band. Lucca will take the drink and kind of swagger over between the tables. Did we get the sense that anyone in the band could speak like common at all, or was everything in undercommon with them?
They also speak. All of them also speak common. Yes.
Okay. Um, so Lucca's gonna kind of come over and fill in everyone on the situation a little bit. He will quietly note, "Now, Ottardo, I don't want you to, freak out and get all righteous about this, but in the interest of full disclosure, it does seem that they are keeping a few captives here for later consumption."
Alive?
He nods. It's possible that they have some useful information. I mean, what are they doing down here? How did they get caught?
Well, we should release them.
In due time, I think, in due time.
When? Do you plan on
Soon.
sneaking back in, or
So
how?
soon, TM. Uh, let us ensure that there are no other potential threats around here. Yes, so that when we do spring them, that they are. Luca is saying this all quietly. Of course, he's not saying this like loudly. Even if he doesn't think they can understand him, he's being cautious about it. He's like, even if if we spring them, we really ought to make sure that there are no other threats to them around here. Isn't that right? We wouldn't want something terrible to happen to them on the way back up.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, in that case, let's see if the Shadow Malice knows anything about the creatures or anything else in this area, and then let us deal with potential dangers to the poor prisoners.
All right, so you wait for Shadow Malice to finish this set.
Oh yeah. There will be a break.
All right. So yeah, eventually, they end a song, and then their lead singing rat folk singer in sackcloth calls into the room, and we'll be right back. This is Shadow Malice, and apparently Lucca is clapping the loudest. Everyone else at this point maybe has heard enough of Shadow Malice for a little while.
When he claps, it's just xylophone sounds.
Glung, glung, glung. And yeah, so as most of the band like kind of tend to their instruments, tuning and restringing their lutes and stuff, but the singer like steps down, chewing on something, and high fives Luca. And goes like, "Hey, look at that! It's Ottardo. You're back in the Warped Brew, huh? So you gonna play a set later?"
Maybe later, but for now we're just chilling, you know? We're just
Okay, yeah, it's pretty
vibing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool,
Luca offers
cool.
him the beer that he got, or whatever it is, from the
Yeah, he
bar.
like she actually drinks a sip, like swishes it around, spits it back out, goes like, yeah, thanks, cool.
uh, Luca kind of like looks behind him at the others, you know, in case anyone wants to jump in. Like,
I think you have it well in hand. I can give you an inspiration.
okay, well, sure.
Yeah.
That's not really what I had in mind, but sure, thank you.
And as you cast the spell, the bouncer steps forward, and immediately like you feel the weight of the glaive on your shoulder as she reaches out, puts it on your shoulder, sets it right next to your neck. She's like, "What was that?" In sackcloth.
It was since it is a composition cantrip. It is performed with my music, so it's Souma basically just starts plucking her instrument.
Oh, it doesn't have any additional components beyond just
No,
the music?
no, it is. It's a bardic cantrip, so.
Okay, well then, never mind. I didn't say anything.
It's cool. Everything's cool.
It's cool.
Right. Well, you know, we were just we've been hanging out, you know, seeing the sights around here.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, you're not a bunch of Morlocks. I mean,
Oh, do I look like a warlock to you?
of course not.
No.
Of course not, madame.
No.
No, not at all. But far too beautiful to be a warlock, if I could say so. I can see why you're the lead singer. But, anyway, this. I mean, you guys don't hang out here all the time. Surely there's got to be somewhere you go when you're between sets, you know, and you just need to hang out. You know, like when do you get off?
I don't know. I think we're gonna play another set or two, maybe. There's the backstage back there. I mean, if I'm sure you could ask if you can play right after if you want to. I mean, if your performers get to use the backstage if you need a place to crash for a little bit.
So you just go back and forth between playing sets and hanging out backstage. That's pretty much what you do.
I mean, for now, who knows? Maybe we'll stick around for a couple of days. Maybe
You've
a
been
week.
like crashing here. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, but you wouldn't happen to know anything about the Jafaki figure, or yeah, these Morlocks really seem to be obsessed with Jafaki and all
Yeah, they
this
sure do,
stuff.
little suckers. I mean, they're every now and then one of them just kind of gets taken away, and they think that she leans in and like up a little bit, and she goes, and they think that this Jafaki guy makes them better or something, but
Yeah.
none of them ever returned. It's like
Ah,
suckers.
yeah,
Telling you,
yeah. So
man,
like you've never like been tempted to like go see what Jafaki's about, or
no. I'm not gonna mess with the establishment, man.
like oh, geez, I thought Shadow Malice would have been very anti-establishment.
Yeah, but I also, I mean, did you hear the stories about this Jafaki guy? I'm not gonna mess with this thing.
Oh, stories? What sort of stories?
That how about is that he's this powerful, like he can make your flesh change, and they even say that. It leans in again. They even say that that beauty over there was made by Jafaki. You know, just took a spider and some other thing and then smushed them together. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're right. That's crazy. Uh, yeah, that's wild stuff. We should have asked you about all of this before we went to meet Shafaki.
What?
So,
What?
I sure wish we had taken the time to talk to you more sooner.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, maybe we'll just do a little see what the back room's like. You know, the green room. Do they have snacks back there
Yeah.
or anything?
They have a couple snacks, yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. But
A couple
only
of
for
snacks.
performers. Only for performers. So I guess we're gonna get a show out of you after all, huh?
Oh,
Come on.
yeah, man. Yeah, maybe. I haven't warmed up today, so. But
Yeah. But anyway, if you want to play, you should just ask Viscari. I'm sure she'll let you.
this guy, yes, that's the smushed lady, smushed with the spider.
Oh no. That's the other lady with the translucent skin.
Oh,
Oh, you
I'm
haven't met
sorry.
her
Could you
yet?
repeat that name again?
Viscari? Have you not met her yet? Was he not here? Oh yeah, I guess she wasn't here when we had our little battle.
No.
And she's up there in her office most of the time. Really, only comes out if there's any if it gets too rowdy in here. And
Luca
boy,
points
can I
around. He's
tell
like,
you,
where's her office? Which way? We didn't get
eh,
properly introduced.
over there. He points over to that door.
Translucent skin lady. Is she another of Jafaki's horror specials?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think she really is into that whole thing. I think
No,
she's
that's
just
not her
here to
scene.
like, yeah, I think she's just running this place for now. I don't know.
Sorry. Is she
I don't
nice?
really know her. No, 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 she's not. No, definitely not.
And she only comes out when there's a bit of a row. He says, and kind of looks
Yeah.
pointedly back behind him.
Well, I'm sure if you wanted to talk business to her, she'd do that. But
Yeah, of course, of
uh,
course.
and then
Well, look,
on back on the stage, they start tuning the guitars, and then the Zulugath calls out and says, "Ryder, are you coming back?" "Yeah, sure, I'll be right there." "What? Good to see you, buddy." And then
yeah,
she
you
hops.
too, ma'am. You too,
Right,
Ryder, that's Ryder.
that's right.
Right.
All right,
Uh,
and then they count themselves in, and so 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom.
uh, Luca's gonna kind of like nod to the others and like gesture backstage, kind of casually, like try to slip around them here. Sorry, excuse me.
And as you try to do so, the bouncer like steps up and fishes with the back of his glaive, like fishes between your legs so that you kind of stumble. And music the music is so loud, so she just has to gesture, and she just kind of gives you the like, what? Stop it! Come back!
Lucca gets up and he gives her a look like, what? Like, what? Party foul, come on.
And then she goes, only 4 performers.
He's like, we are performers. Didn't you say? No, Ottardo, you were there.
And she like pulls you, or like, I mean, she, not really forcefully, but she leads you back down the stage, kind of around the corner from the noisiest part of the band, and then yells in your ear, if you want to play tonight, you gotta talk to Viscari first. She was not happy with she was not happy with what the place looked like after your last show.
What do you mean?
We
We
didn't
left
do
it in good
anything.
order.
Well,
Look, if people got a little worked up over our performance, we can hardly be held accountable for that.
I'll explain that to Viscari.
Lucca's gonna look at the others and be like, I guess we're going to see this guy.
Who I think at this point hardly understood a word of what this thing was saying, so.
He's gonna shout over the music, we're going to see this story!
Alright, so the bouncer opens that door for you, and like moves her head so that you to get you to get in there.
Lucca wants to make
the...
a rude gesture at the bouncer, like not so rude that she's gonna be like, I want to, cut your head off, but like just enough to know that like, hey, you're being a buzzkill and we're supposed to be here. Like you're the one killing the vibe, not us.
Okay.
I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that was gonna say that's a pretty elaborate gesture to make.
just enough to know that like you're the square here, not us.
Right.
Like...
But I guess like you do that just before ducking into that hallway,
yeah.
and your friends are in between you and the creatures, the bouncers. So like before it can really get to you, you're all already in there. So she just slams the door shut behind you. So I'll say we're all kind of squeezed into this hallway here. Oops. Nope.
Oh no! Right. What's happened?
Oh, I got too many.
I fell through the textures.
You did. Where? No, where
I'll
is...
go down here. Augrael.
Where's Augrael? Where are
Augrael?
you, Augrael? Augrael disappeared.
Oh no.
He's gone.
Oh, no. It really just disappeared. I guess I need to put him on the scene again.
He's into the void now.
Could he be inside the walls or something?
Oh, I see him.
There he is.
I see him sparkling.
It
there
just,
you got him.
it just pinked in the wall. All right, yeah. So bouncer just slams the door shut behind you, and now to the south there's a door, and to the north there's a door, and the one to the north says the office in like crude lettering in sackcloth.
Lucca's like, all right, well, he's gonna try to fill everyone in again now that they're in a slightly quieter hallway. They're like, right, look, so there's a back room where there's quote unquote snacks, and there's we can't go in there unless we perform today again, but we have to talk to Viscari about it, who is in the office. She has translucent skin, so take that as you will. That's the office, he says, pointing to the door with the sackcloth sign.
But even if we got into the back room, then what do we do after?
Well, I don't know, but it sounds somewhat as if possibly the prisoners are back there. It all depends on how you interpret the term snacks. You see, in sackfroth, that can mean either like a light repast or prisoners.
What I'm trying to say is that we still have to come back through the main room.
Yes, that is true. I don't know what we are achieving here. All I know is that things are happening. So Perhaps it's best to abandon any notion of a plan and just see where it takes us.
Well, you can probably go ahead and speak with this person.
Okay. If this Viscari speaks common, you can feel free to back me up.
Sure.
I should really get a spell like tongues or something that just alleviates some of this issue, but didn't have room for it in my list this level. I mean, that should be a wand to pick up. Let's see. Luke is really curious about what's through the other door, though. Fine, we'll do the office first.
All right, so you open the office door, and in there, you find somebody sitting at the desk, going over some papers that look like ledgers, so it looks like it's actually actual accounting work. The creature looks like this, somewhat of a ghoulish head, but not rotting flesh or anything like that. And indeed, Ryda was not exaggerating when she said that the creature's skin was translucent. It looked like, or it looks like it's just like a clear layer of skin on the body. There's the inner organs are showing through it. There's a pale blue hue to that translucent layer. She's like completely bald, hairless, has this long tongue that's lolling out of the corner of her mouth, and she's all like bulging muscles, and you can see those muscles twitch with every movement. You wouldn't think undead. Like you see like how everything like moves anatomically correct. There's nothing that would scream undead to you. Very strange kind of creature. And did I pop it out to show you? I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as you open the door, she looks at you. The music is kind of coming through still from the main room, a little muffled though, so you can have a conversation in here without yelling. And she says, "Ah, it's you. I've heard about you, and I had to clean up after your last little performance. Can I get some privacy in here, or do you want me to serve you in the next stew night?
And the next what?
Serve you at the next stew night.
Ah,
Two.
she means to eat us.
Oh,
Stew night.
was that in common or saffron?
Sackfroth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lucca's gonna be like, "Oh, you don't have to be like that, Viscari, baby."
What did you? And he's try a diplomacy check if she maybe finds that endearing or something.
I cast the spell defense.
He's like, "Hey, there's no need to be like this. We could be cool. We could work this out. Look, we didn't mean to cause any problems. I know our performance was very rousing last time we were in here, but you gotta admit, this place was getting a little stale, and I think we changed things up a bit now, didn't we?"
All right, let's see that roll.
Do I still? No, it's only for one round. Okay, never mind.
Unfortunately, yes, sorry.
What should I roll here?
Diplomacy, I would say.
I am only trained in it. This is a good roll, though.
It's a good roll. So it's a regular success. So I guess you take her a little bit by surprise with that level of like, jovial friendliness, and she like it takes her a second as you step up and talk to her like that, and instead of just punching you right in the face, you can see how she like clenches up and she says, "What did you just call me? And you, the snail? You have any idea how much work it is to keep this place going? You just get out of here before I kick your asses out of here."
Hold on. Look, I know you're doing your best. But if it's that hard, then why not let Ottardo make your life a little easier? Let us go on, perform tonight. Come on, we'll change things up again. We'll give the audience a stern warning not to get too out of hand, you know. And you can make your day in 2 hours straight. They'll be buying drinks left and right. They'll love us. They'll love you for booking us, you know. It's just good all around. It's good for everyone, baby.
You said the word again.
Yeah, he did. You can see through the transparent skin of her face, you can see her grind her teeth as she's really just kind of completely tense, ready to pounce on you. But somehow you are striking a nerve here. So maybe you are more accurate in your assessment than you might think about how things are getting stale, and she needs to mix it up a little. And she goes, "All right, you get one set. And if anyone breaks anything, I will break each one of you. Now get out of here and onto the stage. You're up right after Shadow Malice's set."
Right. Okay. Right. Cool. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll make it happen. Yeah. All right. Say, you don't happen to know anything about what Shafaki's up to, do you?
What do I care about that thing? Get out of here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No worries. We'll leave you to your hard work, and if you don't mind my asking, when do you get off?
Where do you get off? She says, and she kind of kicks you out of the room and slams the door behind you.
It's a when, not a where. It's never mind.
So what did she say?
Closes the door behind him. Okay, look.
I got us the
Bear
gig.
with me. The situation is evolving rapidly. So, we're gonna be doing the next set, all right? Ottardo, do you have any musical inclination whatsoever?
He just looks blankly at you. No.
It's okay, I'll cover him.
Right. The good news is that we've got access to the back room. I at least assume we do, because we have to wait until their set is over. So, now we can go there. That's good. That was Viscari. She doesn't like us a lot, but, you know, I put on a little bit of the old Lucca charm, and she couldn't help but oblige us. So it's all good.
Oh man.
Lucca would be perfect as that oily band manager that
I may have watched a lot of Better Call Saul recently. So
as you can see Augrael. You can see Augrael in front of the door to this house, just kind of sniffing. And he's has the door handle in hand. And he goes, "So it's okay. We can go here."
I don't know if that's the back room or not. Honestly, I didn't exactly ask.
It says so.
Oh, does it?
Let's say it does.
Okay, excellent. That's perfect. I was gonna say we should just do it and ask forgiveness later, but that's fine.
All right, and Augrael opens the door and moves in, and there's a small room with a big table. And there's this disgusting buffet laid out. Smelly fried morsels, gloppy dipping sauce, spiny-looking mushrooms, what looks like moldy flesh that has been sitting here for quite some time. And Augrael immediately rubs his hands and goes.
So it was the light repast version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to the south there's another door.
Anything marked on it?
It says performers only in sackfroth.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's us. It says performers. That's us. You should feel free to go through.
So you continue on through. Augrael just kind of keeps stuffing his face with all of that disgusting food from that table. In the room that comes next, it looks like a dressing room, oversized furniture that's just been jammed in here. It's probably been taken from a room that must have been much larger than this one. There's an acrid smell like burning paint in the air that's coming from a barely functioning hookah in the center of the room, where some unspeakable substances are being used.
Second.
And yeah, and there's yet another door to the south. And from the sound of it, that's not connecting directly to the stage, but you must be coming close.
Might be like the green room or something.
It does say backstage.
Oh, yeah, it's the backstage.
Yeah,
Yep,
and indeed,
that's what it is.
the back of the stage, there come some stands for music, a folded velvet curtain, and the wooden cutout of a tree that are cluttering the small space.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. And a pretty big curtain, heavy velvet. Looks actually quite nice given the circumstances.
Lucca will take a second to inspect the tree a little longer and try to understand why that might be here.
Well, the tree looks, just like a prop for a stage of some kind. Maybe there were more things like this, and this has just kind of been discarded here and forgotten to remove. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense to you why you would have a single tree as a backdrop.
Does it look old?
It looks pretty old, yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. I wonder what story they were telling that involved trees. So many years ago, or presumably whenever this was made. Wouldn't think that these folk would have much of a thing for, the surface or trees, for that matter. It'd be more like, blood and scary things, maybe a cave.
Well, at least the good news is that there's no one imprisoned in here.
Yes, I guess I was wrong about that. They meant actual things to snack upon. And there could be a person there, to be completely honest, but I don't think we'll be saving them anytime soon.
Or it could be maybe, I don't know if there's a kitchen or prep
Yes,
area or something like that.
I suspect behind the bar is the only other place I can think of at this point. But I mean, we've got a set to put on, so we might as well just, take advantage of the amenities. He's gonna sit himself down.
I think at this point someone probably will then describe to Ottardo our previous performance that we had. So, like, basically, like, don't worry, you don't actually have to do anything, and you will, like, well, again summon her modified spell with summon ensemble thing, like, okay, my spell will handle all the music, and I will summon our lead singer. So, I mean, well, lead singer actually will have to be me, but they won't know that. And of course, if you will need to sing, can you sing?
I can pretend to bang on my shield.
Good,
and you
okay.
can use it.
So, yeah, we have this thing, so this thing will handle for this, so I will have to think for all of you, and I will have to play for all of you, and you don't do anything, okay? So just sit there, provide special effects, some pyrotechnics, and everything will be fine. Okay?
I'm the stage production guy, and he does a little like ignition. Pew pew. Um,
And then
actually,
from the stage, like the last couple of chords fade out, and then you hear Ryda's voice and Sackbroth. We were Shadow Malice, and now we have a special guest tonight. After all, they've decided to join us here on stage. No Tarda! And the door pops open,
once
and
again,
that
Ottardo just hears his name amongst a bunch
yeah,
of gibberish, just
exactly.
screamed out.
And then that smelly Zulgath like comes back into the backstage looking around and then sees you and he goes like, Notardo, you're up. And that's where we're gonna drop
Oh man.
the coder for today because I don't want to rob Matt of another round of Notardo.
There is something that Ottardo probably can do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, let me see.
Well,
It's there. I
I
remember
was
that
thinking
they're
that
Hmm?
they did the Viscari did say that the crowd was getting unruly before, so maybe he can make
Mhm,
sure that they stay in line.
Well,
mhm.
he didn't hear it because it was in Sakrot or whatever.
Yeah,
But
well, I'm
you,
saying Lucca can suggest that.
yeah, you did mention him as the roadie, so he can just like
Yeah, maybe a
double up
little bit of like the
as
bouncer
bouncer.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Keep
Yeah.
things from getting too out of control. You know, we want to be on the good side. I
Yeah.
think, possibly, for now at least.
Mhm. All right. I did not think that we would come back for another set for Notardo, but that's how that goes. Cool. All right. Yeah, we'll pick it up next time, hopefully then at full strength once again. So thanks for playing, and
thank you for having us.
of course, and I'll see you next week.
See you.
See ya.
Bye.